Do you find yourself drowning in tasks and struggling to keep your business organized? Imagine if you could simplifying that chaos with just a few clicks. Today, we're diving into the game changing world of ClickUp templates. If you're a small business owner looking to streamline your processes, you're in the right place. So let's get started. So, what are ClickUp templates? Think of them as a pre designed framework to help you manage everything from social media content to launching new services. Save your time and keep you everything aligned. So let's break down how to create 3 essential templates that'll supercharge your operations. To start with, we're going to do social media, and we're going to give you a content calendar that's going to give you a template you can reuse every month to make sure that you're posting consistently across all your platforms. So under your social media folder, you're going to want to create a new list, and we're going to call this the content calendar template. Once that's created, we need to update the statuses that are a little more applicable to this process. So next to that, click on the 3 dots, go to List Settings and List Statuses. We want to change this to Custom Statuses and update the Not Started to Ideas. And your active statuses are going to be Writing, Approval, Update, and Scheduled. Your done status is going to be published. Once you have those, apply the changes. And now we want to create some extra fields that are going to be a little more helpful for this process. So on the right, you want to click on your little plus sign over here to add a column. And we want to do some drop downs. We're going to call one of them category. And this is going to be like the type of post that it is. So is it a blog post? Is it a video? Is it a reel? Is it just a regular post? And then these little dots, you can change the colors of all of these so they stand out and are a lot easier to differentiate between just all the different things. We're going to do another drop down, and we're going to call this one channel. And so this is going to be what platform are you posting it on? So we'll start with all in case you're using there. It's going to everything. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and your website. And again, change all these colors so they stand out and are a lot easier to keep track of. We also want an area to put a link. And so we want the website field, and we're going to call it the link. So that'll be the link that'll make it easy to share that post across different platforms. And then we want the date. We want the actual publication date. Now you want to think about how many posts you generally want to do in a month. Is that 5? Is that 10? Is that more? And you just want to start making some generic tasks and just number them. Post 1, 2, 3. I'm only going to do 5 for the sake of time. Once you have all of those, and then look at the dates that you want to post those. So look at the current month they're in, and let's just say, so for April, we're going to post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's the schedule we want to be on. So we'll make that one for April 2nd. And then the 4th for Friday. We'll make this next one the following Monday. And then Wednesday and Friday. And you would go through and you would assign due dates to all of them. You can add any kind of automation and assignees. If there's specific people that get assigned to start with it, you can add automations for different parts of the process. For now, we're going to leave that as is. Now come back over here to your 3 dots. Go to templates and save as template. And we're going to call this content calendar template and save that template. Now, for each month, very simple to add it back in. Just come up to social media, hit the plus sign, and go to From Template. And we're going to scroll, and your templates will always be listed here first. The ones that are from ClickUp will be below that. So we just click on Content Calendar Template. We want that template, and we're going to remap the dates. So let's make this for May. So this will be May's content calendar. We'll start on the first Monday, or let's just start on Friday. And we'll say May content. And we wanted to skip the weekends. So it's going to reapply all these dates, and it's going to skip the weekend. So we're just sticking with Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and use the template. It'll take a second for that to load, and you'll see it'll be right here. And now if we view this as a board, we have all of our different statuses that we can easily drag and drop them each over as we come up with them. So you would simply drag it here and then open it and change the name of it, whatever the post is going to be about. Start assigning all of your custom fields. And then when you come here and you add the calendar view, you'll be able to see for May all the different posts that are going to happen. Then you can choose what gets viewed in this view. So the fields that you want to see the link, the category, the publication date, and the channel. Now, every time you need to post and get your plan for the month, you can create that without it being too cluttered in one giant list. Next, we're going to talk about a simple workflow for a repeatable process that you do for all your different clients. So we're talking about if you're a photographer, since that's a lot of my clients. So here's one that's really simple to do. So this is going to be a task that happened after your editing process and then delivery of the product to the client. It's a process you're going to do for every single client. So within your headshots folder, you're going to, again, create a new list. And we're going to call this the headshot workflow and create the template. For this one, a simple to do in progress and complete is generally going to be what you need. If there are more statuses that you need or different ones, feel free to change those and edit them as makes sense to you. So an example would be call and send images to editor. When you get them back, you're going to do your edit on the images, and then you'll do the final color. And then you're going to resize them for social media. Then it's time to deliver them to the client. And then you're going to place them in a social media folder to make sure that you can get them posted so that your content creator knows where to get images. You want to make sure that they are getting posted on social media. And then you're going to archive the folder. And then you want to assign some due dates. And again, this is a general, how long does this take? So say you got your images back from you did your final viewing with the client and you know the images that you need. And so tomorrow you want to cull the images and get them sent over to your editor. So that's the due date for that. You generally get them back from your editor in a week. And so you want to have a due date the week after for your final color, or for your doing the editing. Final color should only take you another day or so. But right now, the way that's falling on a calendar, we're going to give that to a Monday. Resizing for social media, that just takes a minute. So we'll just put that the next day. And as soon as you resize it, you can go ahead and get them sent over to the client. So we're going to make that the same day. After that, as soon as you deliver them to the client, you're going to want to make sure you get them into the folder for your social media person to get posted. Give it a week for them to be posted and scheduled. And a week after that, you want the folder archived. So it's cleaned out. It's a month-long process from imaging to delivery to archive. Your files stay clean. And again, now that you've created this, if you have any assignees that you're automatically going to want to do, go ahead and put those in there. And now we save this as a template, and we're going to call it headshot workflow. Save the template. And now when you have a new client and you've done the viewing, you know the images, and you're ready to start the editing process, you just come to your headshots folder, click the plus sign from template, and you're going to choose your headshot workflow. Use the template. You're going to assign this the client's name. That way you know who you're working on. You're going to remap the dates to whatever the due date that you want to remind yourself to make sure those images get sent to your editor. So we'll remap those to that date. And again, we wanted to skip the weekends. Use the template. And that loads. And now you have Jill Smith under your headshots. You have all your due dates for the tasks that need to be completed to get her all of her headshot images. Lastly is going to be a more complex business workflow. And this is the one that I use when I'm going to launch a new service. I'm not going to go through the full creation of it because it is more involved. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to walk you through it. When I'm going to launch a new service, there's very specific pieces that need to happen for the whole process. So from writing out the service all the way to a blog post, graphics created, emails created for a workflow in my CRM, all of those things need to be done and in a specific order and giving myself a time frame. I generally give myself a month when I'm going to do this process. So when I created it, I picked a due date, and again, I gave myself the appropriate times for each task that I knew was a reasonable thing. And that way it's easier to stick with it. I can see what's coming. I can always get it done sooner because I can see it on my calendar. I wrote out all of the tasks I want to do, created some subtasks for it. And with this, I have a workflow document. So I'm going to type out the entire workflow, how that goes, and all of the emails. And I want those all in one place. And so within my template, I actually have a document. That's the new service workflow. There's nothing in it because I just start from scratch. I don't have a template for that. I just write it out step by step by step, and there's a lot of editing. So I don't want a template for that. But every time I launch this new service template, it gives me that document. So it's already in there. So I start out by writing out my service. I give myself 2 to 3 sentences on what the service is, some pricing, if it includes a discovery call, all those types of things. Sometimes a time frame on how long that process, the service takes me if it's a project-based service. And then I go into my workflow document and I write out the entire service from initial contact to when the project gets archived in my CRM. From there, within that document, I'll write out the workflows, emails themselves based on how I've created that workflow. And then I go into Dubsado and I create the workflow based on those emails. However, the first thing I have to do actually is create the forms. And that's why I have this. So I cannot check off that I've done the workflow until I've created the forms, because that has to happen before I can do the workflow. All of these red and yellow things are dependencies. So for this one, I cannot check out create graphics until I've created all of these graphics. I have to make sure I have my Instagram, Facebook, my pins, and all the graphics for my website, whatever web page that's going to look like. I make sure all those graphics are ready to go before I do anything else, before I start adding it to the website. I may have to go back and edit and add some as I'm actually doing the website page, because I don't always know what that's going to look like, but I have some basic things created and ready to go. Once I had that all figured out, all the steps, all the dependencies, subtasks, all of those things, the due dates, I have it automatically assign me to every task since it's just me. But these are definitely things that you can, when you're creating the template, have it assign it to whoever does your graphics. It won't assign it to them or give them a due date until it's ready to be due, until it's coming up. It will assign them, but they will be able to see, oh, this isn't due for a while, but they know it's coming. And at any time, they can see what the service is, so they can start coming up with the graphics that go along with this service. And again, we just save it as a template and then load the template every time I'm going to launch a new service, name it whatever that service is, remap the dates accordingly, and it loads it in and it's ready to go. So why invest time in creating these templates? The answer is simple. Systems save you time and money. By having clear workflows, your team can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Templates eliminate redundant tasks, they reduce errors, and it fosters collaboration if you're working with a team. And it provides consistency in your processes, which is key to delivering quality service to your clients. Are you ready to take your small business to the next level with ClickUp templates? It can be a lot. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and need help setting it up, drop a comment below and just tell me template, and I'll be happy to help you out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips and tricks and to streamline your business operations. Thanks for watching.